Hi everybody, it's Hardworking Mommy. I'm doing this video about I want to talk to people about rude neighbors. I particularly have a rude neighbor. When I first moved here back in 2006, or excuse me, 2005 I believe it was, and I got married in 2006. I made friends with the neighbor that lives next door. Now, we got along great. Talked about a lot of things. Ate in each other's apartment. We made each other dinner. Went on a couple outings, and then she really started getting weird. And I was like, there was just like little things that were going on. I mean, I helped her out. She took a bus and she owed money, and my husband and I helped her out and we paid for her bus tickets. And then she was saying, oh, I don't have money, I owe the landlord and things like that. So, hey, I gave her a few dollars here and there to help her out. I bought her stuff at the grocery store. Now, this is stuff like years ago, like in the 80s or whatever. We grew up in a small town, and we knew everybody on our block. So we would go to the neighbor, like, it was elderly people or whatever. We would go, or someone was disabled or something. Well, we would go and go stop over. Hey, you need anything from the grocery store? We're going shopping, blah, blah, blah. Can we pick you up anything? And they would say, sure, yeah, and they'd say, yeah, we need, a gallon of milk or something, whatever. So we would say, okay, well, I'll pick it up for you and we'll bring it back. So, we would do stuff like we shovel other people's, if it snowed, we would go like shovel their sidewalk or something. And we knew our neighbor, who was elderly on our block, so we would go do this stuff. Now, people are not friendly. Neighbors are not friendly like they were. Now it's like people don't want to get. Some people want to get. They'll talk to you, and then that's all they want to do with you. No, I mean, not that you want to be in everybody else's home, but you want to have neighbors. Like if you have children or something, you want to be able to like trust them where. God forbid something happens, and then you tell your child, okay, well, if I'm sick or something's wrong, then you just go to the neighbor. I was taught that if something happened, go to the neighbor next door, knock on the, see. We used to do that when we were younger. But now it's like people seem like they don't want to be bothered, or there's so many like child molesters, sex offenders, just stuff out there where people don't trust other people anymore, and you don't know anything about your neighbors. There's no more. People used to have block parties in your street. I mean, they don't even do that anymore. Nobody does like a let me get to know your neighbor kind of thing. Nobody does that, and it's isolating. It really is. It's an isolating thing. And let me get back to the. I mean, I came over one day and she just had me standing outside in the hallway like I was like some piece of garbage or something. And I'm like, what the heck is going on with this? And then one day I went and did my laundry. We have a separate laundry room. And here she is, the neighbor's son asking me, my landlord is asking me, have you been blasting your radio or something like that? And I'm like, no, what the hell are you talking about? So then, he says, oh, okay. I says, well, we did have trouble with some other neighbors, and I did tell my landlord, I'm like, I'm like, no, what? I wasn't my stereo. I said I wasn't even home because I think I went away for that weekend or something. So then I told the landlord, I'm like, this other person's got their windows wide open. They got video games blasting all night. And it was the people that lived across from her that were loud. Well, it wasn't us because we weren't home. So then I go get my laundry and I go to the laundry room. And the apartment that she lived in at the time is above the laundry room. And you can hear everything. You can hear all the conversation that took place. And she was over there saying, well, I couldn't sleep for days and nights and a whole month. And she's been blasting her stereo, her things, her TV, and blah, 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 blah. And she was just blasting me and throwing me underneath the bus. And I'm like, what the F? I'm thinking to myself, who the hell are you? And I'm like, that's it. I had enough of your ass. I don't want to bother with you no more. I wrote her a nasty note. I wrote her a nasty letter. It's like, how dare you make false statements to the landlord. Make me look like a piece of fucking shit to the landlord. Like, how dare you? And I'm like, that's it. You're done. I actually let her use my internet. And I wrote her a note too about that, and I said, you know what? Have somebody else pay your internet costs because you can't use my internet anymore. I tried to be nice to you. I was a loyal friend, and I let you use my internet, and you're just over here trashing me and talking behind my back. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. So she's a rotten piece of garbage, actually. She's angry because she's on housing, which is called Section 8 housing here in New Jersey. And she was living in like a condo type setting. Her mom passed away, okay? So they gave her, they passed the voucher down to the daughter. Because if you have children over, I think it's over 18 or something, they usually give the housing voucher to the children, or whoever the oldest child is, and depending on how old they are. Or it goes to their spouse or whoever. And she is angry with the housing authority because she could not live there and she had to live with trash, as she puts it. Well, you know what? I have to live by trash too. I had to live with... When I moved in here, I found that we had child pornography people living here, drug addicts. Landlord didn't check anybody out. So she's not the only one living around these idiots, okay? I mean, she acts like she's the only one, okay? Everybody else is living in the same environment that she is living, okay? So don't act better than somebody else. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody... I'm sure a lot of people are dealing with this type of situation. I didn't... this town I live in actually is very deceiving. Very deceiving. It's woods. It's by by 2 state parks. I figure good school system in the county itself has good school systems. But from types of people that have lived here, I found out there was a halfway house down the street. We had a psychiatric facility around the corner. We have a drug rehab around the corner. But now, our Governor Christie has turned that prior psychiatric facility into a military affairs unit, which I'm very happy about. And they seem to be helping a lot of people, a lot of military folks that have come over from Iraq, come home from Iraq rather, the military personnel. And they seem to be helping and doing a lot of things for them, as far as, getting them hooked up with whatever they need to be hooked up with and getting their therapy and whatnot. It's a good idea, because you should if you're going to close a building, then you should turn it and make it something good for the community. We have a lot of abandoned buildings in this area, in this state, rather. I'm thinking they could be utilized, maybe making them rooming houses, secured rooming houses for people. And this way we wouldn't have to use shelters for anybody that has lost their home. A lot of people have lost their home to foreclosure in this state. I have a relative, I think, had lost her house. I see a white bulletin on a white thing on her on her door. I'm thinking the sheriff might have took the house. And you feel bad for people maybe lost their job, laid off or something, that have lost their housing, lost their home, and now they have to resort into to shelters or having funding for a hotel, at least through social services. Seniors have lost their homes to foreclosure or back taxes. My grandmother in particular, my grandmother could have lost her house to back taxes, and I think they just sold it to a contractor, and then she wound up getting an apartment. But it's really sad when a senior loses their home. It really is. You just feel bad, because they've worked 40, 50 years for their home, and then the government just, screw you if you can't, God forbid something happens, you lose your spouse or something, God forbid you're on Social Security, retirement, and you can't do it anymore. Let's not give them a break. Let's just take their house and throw them on the street, or throw them in a nursing home or whatever. It's terrible. It's terrible. The way the seniors are treated sometimes is absolutely appalling to me. I personally, I don't believe in putting your family into nursing homes. I believe if you can have them in your home, have them in your home. Let them live with you. My father's 75 years old. He's had heart attacks and stuff. He's pretty good. He could pretty much do things on his own, but I would feel more secure if he lived with me. I'd rather take care of my parents because I took care of my mother and stuff. They worked hard. They worked hard to raise you and provide me. And, I think that if you have elderly parents, you should take care of them. Don't throw, yeah, you work every day. You can have a nurse or someone come in your home and help out. You don't need to throw them into some place, with strangers. They should be around you, in your family. But that, like I said, I know that's not for everybody doesn't feel like that, but in my opinion, it's my opinion and I have a right to have one. I personally would not do that to my father or anybody else. So, and it's a real because they wind up, like you do that, and they wind up they take your house. If you don't pay them, they take everything you own. Nursing homes, they take everything you own. So, anyway, so those are my things, and I got my putty with me. She's my little baby. She was sick today. Yeah, she was sick today, so she ate her food, and I guess it didn't agree with her little tummy. So, like I said, we're just sitting home. We're probably gonna have lunch in about a few minutes when we're done here. But, you know, if you have anything about my videos, like, subscribe, and do whatever you need to do. Thanks.